Hi, I'm Bill Ritchie. I've been known as a printmaker all my life, and I'm going to talk today about reinventing the collagraph. I made my first collagraph around 1963, and then I was hired to teach the collagraph in 1966. So I'm something of an expert when it comes to the collagraph. One thing I learned, the most important thing anyone can learn about printmaking, is that it's a two-step process, generally: plate making and print making. Among the plate making techniques, there are thousands. Of the print making techniques, however, there are only four: planographic, intaglio, relief, and stencil. Collagraph covers all branches, but it's not everything, and it is only a plate making technique. However, now it's being reinvented. Since 1981, the true collagraph has come about. It is both plate making and print making. Well, not really plate making, because there is no plate. There are only algorithms, formulas, dimensions, measurements, data, in other words. The real printing goes on in a 3D printer. That's what I'm going to talk about today as the reinvention of the collagraph. First, I'd like to give you a little history. Going back into my own records, I have pictures of almost everything I did for my whole career since 1960. And this page covers a collagraph, which I still have in my drawers. I'd like to show that to you now. I made my first collagraph in 1963, but it's in a private collection somewhere in Ellensburg. This is one I made in 1967, the first year I taught collagraph. It's an additive process that distinguishes it from what are called destructive processes, which is what I taught students in 1967. This collagraph was made by adding cold water putty for these areas on the back of hardboard, masonite sometimes known, and inked in black ink and run through an etching press. So here in my museum, I have the collagraphs from the 60s and the collagraphs from the year 2018, this one by Martin Schneider in Germany, this one by Echlori in Switzerland in 2085, and my collagraphs, or my 3D prints, looking like toy etching presses. They are formed on a computer in a program called Tinkercad, made for kids like me, and sent to a printer, the 3D printer, also made for kids like me. So that's the reinvention of the collagraph, in my opinion. It's both the maker and the made coming out at once, layer by layer, additive layer by additive layer. Back to the same old term I used in 1967 when I taught the collagraph as an additive process at the University of Washington in Seattle. Thanks for watching.
Professor Ritchie, what inspired you to advocate for incorporating 3D printing into a traditional printmaking class? And how do you see it enhancing the learning experience for students?
Well, in my long years in printmaking, I think it fosters more innovation and teaches more problem-solving skills than any other kind of art form. Also, it's hands-on, it's engaging, it shows people, young and old, real-world applications of what they're learning. In printing 3D in real time, it's also fascinating to watch an object taking shape, added layer by layer over time. It's like giving form to time.
What about 3D modeling that you have to learn if you want original prints?
I use 3D modeling to practice critical skills in spatial awareness, digital design, and precision. It's not just about sitting and watching 3D printing. It's about mastering the whole making process from concept to finished product and recursivity. It empowers people to become creators and producers, not just consumers.
Hmm. Well, thank you, Professor. That's very interesting.